Roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Play fake, Murray. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donald Parham. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's complete to Fuller. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. First down. Here's Burrow. That's caught by Howard. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Here's Burrow. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete. That's Fuller. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From midfield now, Burrow. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he finds Howard complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now a give coming right is Breida. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now Burrow on first down. And this is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Burrow looking to pass. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. Extra point up and good by Folk. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Throwing now is Murray. Forced out to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Big play that time through the air. 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Mostert. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Raheem Mostert
with his 16th touchdown of the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray rolling to his right. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the 3-point shot. And people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Carson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's so easy to focus on the speed and elusiveness of Kyler Murray, but as he shows right there, don't sleep on the arm strength.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Carson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow going deep downfield for Ross. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Bengals. John Ross, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. On for the extra point is Folk. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Sliding out of the pocket. He finds Watson. It's gone. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray being chased out left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Murray. This one complete to Scott Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Murray. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Donald Parham, as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. They'll try and throw for it. On the move to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players, but most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Bengals drive about to get going.
And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission.
Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off around the 41.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Flushed out right. Murray has the first down and more. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Play action. Now it's Murray. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal. To throw is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donald Parham with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Quan Alexander. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And now again, the Browns, they line up for 2. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again.
picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 22. They'll start on the ground with Breida. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 40. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now Murray off play action. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
That swung out to Mostert.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He's going to go up top again. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
Mostert hit, and he drops the ball.
And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target,
and the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Burrow. He's got Fuller. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Escaping the pressure right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a toss right side for Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. O.J. Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray flushed out right. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Play fake. Murray. And this is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Donald Parham
His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Browns stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Burrow will throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Oh, he fakes a spike. Under pressure, and they got to him again. A.J. Epinesa. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
4th and goal, and down by a touchdown. The offense stays on the field.
They'll try and throw for it with Burrow, eluding the pressure right. Strong running at the 30. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 1st down and a little extra from Mostert. And down to the 16-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone to give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Returning it, John Ross.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Flush to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. First down, here's Burrow. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 42. And some space here.
So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit.
Murray's going to look to throw this thing. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray escaping the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Murray going to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that's a...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And now here's Ross.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Bengals drive about to get going.